When I started this business journey 8 weeks ago, I had no idea how messy digital marketing is. The reality is that most people quit before they see results. This week has been a roller coaster, fixing broken messaging, discovering that my audience wasn't even scrolling past my headline, completely restructuring my ad campaigns, and finally seeing my first sale. I'm documenting this entire process raw and unfiltered because building a one-person digital business isn't as clean as what the YouTube gurus make it to be. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through exactly what I shared this week, including the free tool that showed me where my funnel was breaking and the exact moment I realized that my ad strategy was completely wrong. So this is what happened in week 8. So on day 1, I realized that I had a problem with my offer messaging. I was getting clicks on my ads, but no one was going to the checkout page. And that's a clear sign that something was off with my actual offer. What I'm offering is pretty straightforward. I help men create healthy, respectful boundaries in their relationships so they don't get walked all over by the woman they love. And I know many guys struggle with this. The problem definitely exists, but my message just wasn't connecting. So I spent the entire day just writing different headlines and testing the above the fold content. When I say above the fold, I'm talking about the first screen that people see when they land on your page. Your headline, your subheadline, and your audience callouts. Basically everything visible before someone starts scrolling. And the game changer for me was discovering Microsoft Clarity. It's completely free and all you have to do is paste some code into your funnel header. It gives you heat maps and shows exactly how people are scrolling through your site. And the data I got was eye-opening because people weren't scrolling at all. They were landing on my page, looking at the above the fold content and then bouncing. But when I started using Microsoft Clarity, it literally suggested me to optimize the above the fold content. So that's what I focused on, creating headlines and subheadlines that clearly communicate the transformation and speak directly to my audience. By the end of the day, I had 2 solid headlines to split test. On day 2, I started seeing some progress. People were actually moving to the checkout page now. This was huge because it meant that my offer was better aligning with my audience. Typically, you want to see about a 20 to 40% of people going from your sales page to your checkout page. So seeing that movement was encouraging. But I noticed that Meta wasn't allocating budget to some of my best ad creatives in my ABO campaign. If you don't remember what ABO and CBO campaigns are, check out week 3 where I explain the difference. So I decided to pivot my strategy. Instead of sticking with the ABO testing, where I had one campaign with 6 ad creatives split between 2 audience interests, I switched to a CBO testing approach. Now I'm running 3 separate CBO campaigns, each with its own ad creative and its full budget allocation. This gives Meta a little bit more freedom to optimize my ad independently and find the right audience for each ad creative. But for each campaign, I am going to be testing 5 different ad headlines, and I'm going to be split testing about 3 different ad copies, so that Meta doesn't decide to spend between $30 to $50 and instead it spends at least a minimum of $60 per day, which all in all means that I can gather data faster. With this kind of testing, you do need enough data to make informed decisions. So getting to that threshold quicker is really valuable. Day 3 brought some exciting insights. Remember that Microsoft Clarity tool that I mentioned? Well, I checked the data again, and after implementing my new headlines, the improvement was dramatic. My average user scroll depth went from a terrible 5% to 25%, which is a 5x improvement. This means that people are actually engaging with my sales page now. Microsoft Clarity even updated its suggestion to optimize my content below the fold, which is fantastic feedback because that means my above the fold content is working a lot better. I ran my CBO testing campaign strategy the whole day, and towards the end of the day, I got my first sale. This is more significant than just making money because it now means that Meta has a conversion event that it can optimize towards. Meta's algorithm can now look at who purchased my product and find similar people who are likely to purchase it too. So let me explain why this matters. Meta's algorithm needs time to stabilize and optimize, which is why you shouldn't give up on ads after just 3 to 4 days. That's simply not enough time, especially when you're not in the biz op niche. With biz op offers, you know, the make money online stuff, it's easier to get quick sales because you're essentially exchanging money for the promise of more money. But when you're in a relationship niche like mine, or weight loss, or any other transformation that doesn't offer a direct financial return on investment, it takes longer to optimize and find the right audience. That first purchase confirms that there's a real problem that my offer is solving. And once I get around 10 purchases, I can start working on my upsell product. I'm still thinking about selling a $40 to $50 product, which will be pure profit once the funnel is optimized. And that's the beauty of this model. It's completely different to drop shipping or doing agency work. Once you get it right, it's essentially automated digital e-commerce without running a personal brand. Moving into days 4 and 5, we haven't got that first sale since the first one, but that's completely normal because, as I mentioned before, it typically takes around 4 to 7 days to properly test campaigns. And the worst thing you can do as an advertiser is to be emotionally reactive. It really does suck to see money being spent with no immediate return, but you have to view it as a learning experience. Your Metapixel is literally gathering insights as it scans through different audiences. So what I'm focusing on for the rest of this launch phase is establishing a daily advertising advertising routine. I'm tracking my ad performance daily, checking my ad accounts regularly, but I'm not reacting prematurely. I'm only going to make decisions based on kill points, like cutting ads when they don't receive a positive return on ad spend, or if they don't get at least 5 purchases within the next 4 to 7 days. So there are some winning elements in there. But to scale this properly, you have to know your numbers. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Checking my ad account daily, observing the data, and documenting everything I notice. Because when it comes to advertising, this is a non-emotional game. An organized ad account is a scalable ad account. All I'm doing right now is noting which ads work and which don't. In the meantime, I'm creating a testing backlog of potential ad creatives and copy. I already have quite a bit of ad copy to split test, but I'm going to focus more on the ad creatives for now. I am going to be potentially exploring video ad creatives for this offer because I think it would work well, but I do need to see how much that is going to cost me. So that's where we are between days 4 and 5, staying disciplined, tracking data, and preparing for the next phase of testing. So that's where I am right now, testing, optimizing, and staying disciplined within my approach. And building a business like this is just a process, not an overnight success story. So drop a comment down below and I'm happy to answer any of your questions, and I'll see you in next week's video.